On an overcast September evening in 2014, nearly 49,000 New Yorkers packed themselves into Yankee Stadium for one reason and one reason only: to say goodbye to a legend. For 2 decades, Derek Jeter had been the heart and soul of the Yankees, leading them to unimaginable success. And now, at long last, the franchise's foremost modern-day hero was riding off into the sunset. But for all the iconic highlights and impossibly clutch moments that Jeter had delivered throughout his Hall of Fame career, nobody could have anticipated just how magical his final game in the Bronx would be. Throughout baseball history, few players have put together a resume as complete and as compelling as Derek Jeter, aka the captain, aka Mr. November. The linchpin of the Yankees' turn-of-the-century dynasty, Jeter was a 5-time World Series champion, a member of the 3,000 hit club, a 14-time All-Star, a 5-time Gold Glover, and one of the most celebrated postseason performers ever, hence Mr. November. Long before he retired, Jeter had cemented himself as an all-time Yankees great and a future first-ballot Hall of Famer. However, for a moment, it looked as though Jeter's storied career might end in unceremonious fashion. After leading the league in hits in 2012 at the age of 38, Jeter's 2013 campaign was an unmitigated disaster. At 39, Jeter, who had been so healthy for so long, was derailed by injuries. After averaging 151 games per season over the previous 17 years, Jeter appeared in only 17 contests in 2013, enduring 4 trips to the disabled list due to a series of leg injuries. Over the course of those 17 games, Jeter hit .190, and as that dreadful season came to a close, it felt like the prospect of Jeter ending his career on a high note was slim. He was about to turn 40 and was coming off a season he described as a physical nightmare. Yet, Jeter remained confident that he could bounce back. As he told the New York Times that September, "I truly believe with a full offseason of working out and getting my strength back, that I'll get back to doing what I've always done." For their part, the Yankees believed in him too. Or at the very least, the franchise wasn't yet ready to say goodbye to its most beloved superstar. Less than 48 hours after the World Series concluded, the Yankees reaffirmed their commitment to Jeter, signing him to a 1-year, $12 million contract and effectively giving him a raise over the $9.5 million player option that Jeter held for the 2014 campaign. Just about everyone anticipated, however, that contract would be Jeter's last. And as spring training got underway, Jeter confirmed it. That February, Jeter announced that the 2014 campaign, his 20th big league season, would be it for him. Good or bad, glorious or humbling, this would be Jeter's epilogue. And what an ordeal it was. Baseball, as an institution, pulled out all the stops in bidding bon voyage to a modern-day legend. For Jeter and the Yankees, the 2014 campaign was a 6-month-long farewell tour. Everywhere they went that season, which happened to be the Yankees' worst in more than 20 years, Jeter was feted and showered with gifts. Some of which were incredibly thoughtful, and some of which were downright absurd. And throughout it all, Jeter did just enough on the field to prevent the whole thing from becoming sad. He wasn't nearly the force he once was, but Jeter still managed to play in 145 games that season, hitting .256 while driving in 50 runs. Along the way, in a gesture of appreciation from baseball's fans, Jeter was voted into the All-Star game for the 14th and final time despite his underwhelming numbers. In fact, he started at shortstop and hit leadoff for the American League, and ended up delivering one of his most dazzling performances of the season.
On his resume, here is a shot to short, no way, diving stop, Jeter! He did not get him as McCutchen beat the throw. That would have been some start in his final All-Star game, and a little smile on the face of Jeter. Into right. What a start. Into the corner. Jeter will dig for 2. And he starts his night with a double.
As special as that evening was, though, it was nothing compared to Jeter's last ever game in the Bronx 2 months later. An indelible performance that typified Jeter's flair for the dramatic and his undeniable knack for coming through in the clutch. On September 25th, less than 24 hours after the Yankees were mathematically eliminated from postseason contention, 48,613 fans showed up to Yankee Stadium, the biggest crowd of the year. Seemingly, all of New York wanted to be there to say goodbye to their captain, to see Jeter resplendent in his pinstripes one last time, and ultimately, to close out an unforgettable chapter in Yankees history. Just how important was Jeter to New York? Consider this. 2 days beforehand, the average ticket price on the secondary market for Jeter's final home game was $845. But you'd be hard-pressed to find anyone who attended that game to say it wasn't worth it.
It's beginning to hit him what this night means.
He has been, by any measure, a truly great player. But he has also been a presence. 20 years in one uniform. Brooks Robinson and Yaz each played 23 for one team and one team only, the Orioles and the Red Sox. Mel Ott with the Giants, Cap Anson with the White Sox, Al Kaline with the Tigers, Stan Musial with the Cardinals, 22 years. So he's not the longest with only one team, but he's up there 20 straight years, and in an era when even great players seem to move around from team to team. He's been a fixture with one team.
Anytime Jeter moved a muscle that night, he was showered with love by the New York crowd. And when he came to the plate for the first time to a thunderous ovation in the bottom of the first, Jeter did what he does best, working himself into a hitter's count before sending the crowd into a frenzy.
Gardner goes, a drive to deep left, going back is Diaza, way back, and it's off the wall. Here comes Gardner, around third, on a double by Jeter, and it's a 2-1 game.
You don't become a 5-time champion and a World Series MVP by getting caught up in the moment, though. As electrifying as that double was, Jeter kept his head in the game.
Three infielders on the right side for McCann. The ball skips away. Jeter sprints for third and makes it.
Moments later, Jeter came in to score, tying the game at 2. And as the evening unfolded, it seemed as though that first plate appearance would be the highlight of Jeter's night. However, as it turned out, the baseball gods were determined to give Jeter an even more memorable highlight to hang his hat on. Like, really determined. First, in the bottom of the 7th, in what had a chance to be his final at-bat at Yankee Stadium, Jeter stepped to the plate with the bases loaded and the score still tied. A golden opportunity for him to pen one last signature moment. He didn't exactly deliver.
Broken bat roller. The play is to second and they throw it away. The Yankees take the lead. 2 runs come across.
As productive as that plate appearance was, Jeter would be the first to tell you that nobody wants a broken bat reached on error to be remembered. It would have been downright unbecoming for Jeter to go out like that. Cue the baseball gods once again. In the top of the 9th, with the Yankees up by 3 and just 3 outs away from sealing a victory in Jeter's final home game, David Robertson, the Yankees' all-star closer, imploded. After issuing a leadoff walk, Robertson served up a 2-run homer to Adam Jones. Suddenly, the Yankees' lead was cut to 1, and in steps Steve Pearce.
Instead, he drives one to deep left field. Back goes Yan, looking up, tie game! All of Hiroki Kuroda's good work down the drain.
What a shame.
The 4th home run of the night, and the only silver lining in the Bronx is that Jeter will bat in the bottom half of the inning.
Hold on to your hats, folks. Turn the TV back on. Jeter will bat in the bottom of the inning. The bottom of the 9th. One last improbable chance for a memory. For magic. From the dude who gave us the flip. The dive. Mr. November. And as fate would have it, Jeter did indeed have one more iconic moment left in him. With 1 out in the bottom of the 9th, Jeter came to the plate with the winning run on second base and authored his storybook ending.
Script is there. The last page is in Derek's hands. Meek deals. Base hit to right field. Here comes Richardson. Here's the throw from Markakis. Richardson is safe. Derek Jeter ends his final game with a walk-off single. Derek Jeter, where fantasy becomes reality. Did you have any doubt?
Did you have any doubt? Well, if you've been following baseball for the previous 20 years, you wouldn't have. An opposite field single to win it in the 9th. It was Jeter epitomized, an ending fit for Broadway. And after the heroics and the hugs, Jeter, for the final time, took a well-deserved bow. 3 days later, on a sunny Sunday afternoon in Boston, Jeter played the final game of his career. And today, almost a decade later, it wouldn't be a stretch to call Jeter's send-off in the Bronx the Yankees' most memorable moment since they were last World Series champions in 2009. A more hallowed memory than even Aaron Judge breaking the American League home run record in 2022. That says a lot about the Yankees' recent fortunes, sure, but it's also a reflection of how magical, how ultimately perfect, that night back in 2014 was. Rarely do athletes get to go out on their own terms, and even more rarely do they get to go out as heroes. Jeter did both.
Thanks for watching. If you like this video and want to see more content like this, hit that subscribe button.